Stone Liberty is releasing a big update soon where they're introducing tier 3 gear. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about something called blessing stacking. If you're not familiar with blessing stacking, you probably didn't play before tier 2. It's basically a way to save a bunch of lucent when tier 3 gear comes out so you can trade it much cheaper. Trading is really expensive in this game because you need a bunch of lucent, and this will basically save you some time. Now I'm going to be talking about if it's worth blessing stacking or not. You can also do it as a new player in Hyperboost servers, but it's not really worth it for you. It's more for people that are already playing and are going to continuously play on the already established servers. But you can do this on the Hyperboost if you want to make it a little bit cheaper. So let's just jump into it. So first things first, is it worth blessing stacking or not? Because I'm going to be explaining a full guide, a very easy way to blessing stack later in the video. First, I'm going to talk about if it's worth it. In my opinion, it's not as worth it as it was for T2, and the reasoning for that is when T2 came out, we knew exactly what kind of gear we were going to get, so we could blessing stack knowing which kind of builds we're getting. Right now, we don't have no idea of what the tier 3 gear is going to be. They haven't showcased them, they haven't introduced them at all, so we kind of in like the void right now when it comes to the tier 3 gear. The second thing is we have heroic weapons. The people are wondering when it comes to your heroics, heroics are still going to be the best weapons. And they're going to make sure the heroics will always be the best weapons. So if you have heroic pieces like a weapon or a helmet or whatever gear piece or potentially an accessory, you don't have to blessing stack on any of these pieces because they're going to continuously be the best. If you have arc boss weapons, the new ones, new arc boss weapons, they also will just get an upgrade function to them, and everything else will be basically upgradable. So you don't have to worry about weapons too, because weapons are pretty cheap. So in my opinion, if you're going to be blessing stacking going into tier 3, you only want to do it for certain gear. Now, what kind of gear pieces are those? If you really want to blessing stack, I would highly advise you guys to probably go for some type of accessory that you probably are looking to upgrade. You can kind of tell, even without seeing the T3 gear, which gear piece is not really good, and then maybe start focusing blessing stacking there, and then probably get a couple of gear pieces. You don't have to blessing stack weapons. They're pretty cheap. A lot of people wasted a lot of lucent on blessing stacking, and then when T2 came out, the traits were already super cheap. So actually, when it comes to certain things, you can actually lose lucent by blessing stacking. So be kind of careful how much blessing stacks you guys do going into it. My advice for tier 3 especially is you don't have to worry that much. It goes super hard on the blessing stacking, but you want to do it for a few gear pieces to make it a little bit cheaper for you guys to go into tier 3. Now, what I can also advise you guys to do is start filling your storage spot. If you have a Da Vinci's Favor, it's really nice because you get insane amount of slots. But here, start stacking like gear pieces, T2 gear pieces, because it will make it a little bit easier to blessing stack or get traits when tier 3 comes out. Just having a bunch of gear. Also, it could help with material transmutation because they're probably going to introduce tier 3 gear into material transmutation when that releases. So having gear in your storage, and it's going to take a lot of space, but having gear ready is going to be a good thing. The last thing that I want to talk about is be very careful, because when it came to tier 2, what they did, or what AGS is known for doing, is they would introduce a tier 3 gear, which is going to be better than the current gear, but the good tier 3 gear is actually going to be locked behind a time gate, which is probably going to take over a month to release. So let's say you have a blessing stack, you blessing stack your chest piece, right? And then tier 3 comes out and you use the blessing stack on the tier 3 piece to get max traits, and then a month later they're going to introduce the better tier 3 gear, which is going to be basically the meta, and they're known for doing this. So this is why a lot of people wasted a lot of their materials when you get into T2. I can give you guys my example. For example, I want to get the full Auric Vanguard set, but I started off blessing stacking my Eternal Warlord, if I'm not wrong here. Yeah, I blessing stack my Eternal Warlord first, and then I actually have to pay more lucent when the Vanguard set came out. That's going to be the same thing when you go into tier 3. You probably have to just hold off on your gear and then waste blessing stack. Now, if you still want a blessing stack, this is how you guys will do it, and I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you guys to do. Select the piece of gear. that is not your weapons or where you're putting your heroic gear. Accessory, if you're getting a heroic accessory, probably just wait until the launch of the new accessories before doing it, or get the better ones, which is I think the necklace and the ring. But so what you want to do, if you don't have any nebula, for example, you can start blessing stacking one ring, maybe a belt, a necklace, and a chest or whatever. This is how you do it. The first thing you want to do is you want to get a gear piece. So let's use the helmet for now because I have a helmet, so I can show you guys how to do it. And to do that, I need this. The very important, or the most important thing is the one item that you're blessing stacking has to be level 0. Okay, it cannot be level 12 because if it's level 12, you can't feed it into your level 12, and then you have to stack the blessings way higher. So to make it very easy, this is how you're gonna do it. You're gonna get a gear piece, and once you have a gear piece, you're gonna go to traits. When you're in trait, you will have, for example, this helmet. It has 0 blessings. It's level 0, and then you're gonna be feeding it melee endurance traits. Okay, and then you will gonna unlock several traits. So the first thing you guys want to do is you're gonna go to the auction house. You want to find out what is a cheap trait. So I will go here and I will search up. You can do it with rare T2. You can do it with epic T1s or rare T1s too. 40 blessings for this, 60 blessings for this, and then 80 blessings for this. And some of them will be very cheap. So I was on the wrong one. Melee endurance right here, headgear. You will see this one is 15 lucent, and this is going to give me 80 blessings. And then I can check out T2 blues. How much are those for the headgear? 10 lucent at 60 is actually cheaper. And then you have the normal one, which is not really worth it because we already have 10 lucent ones. So you can do this, and then you can buy this one, right? You will buy a trait, or you could just drop them and make it do it the harder way. And then you will go here, you will trade, where's the helmet? Here, and then you will feed this. And when you feed this into it, you see there's 0 blessing. You will feed this, and then you will get 60 blessing right there. You're gonna keep doing this until this 60 hits about 4 or 5k. The reason I say 4 or 5k is we don't know how much you will need for T3, but I would say like 4k is a good place to hit it, because once you hit this, once you get this to 4k, you will get all your traits, because eventually you will hit like great success and they will automatically level up to like 4 out of 4, and then you're gonna do the same thing here. Don't use this, don't use traits, so actually buy the trait for it, and then you will just get like range endurance, whatever is cheap trait, and then you will get like melee evasion. So 3 cheap traits, and you will just keep doing this until you have 4k blessings. Once you have 4k blessings, this is what's you're gonna be doing when T3 comes out. You're gonna take the gear, which is this, right, and you're gonna transfer it. So you're gonna do this, and you're gonna transfer a 12 piece with max traits right here, because that will feed another 2.6k into this. So if you're fully traded this to 5k, and then you feed this, this will feed from 5k up to 7.6k blessings onto this. And when you have this, all you have to do is buy a T2 epic, or I think T3 blue. You can just level up the trait super cheap. That's basically what blessing stack does. It's super easy to do, and if you want to, this is how you basically blessing stack, and it's the cheapest way to actually do it. And remember, don't just lock your item, whichever you're blessing stacking, you put it in your storage. So one of the most important things is don't worry about converting your trades. So let's say you have been trades blessing stacking this, okay? I've been blessing stacking this. Pretend it says 5k here, okay? Blessing 5,000 or 4,000. Let's say it says 4,000. I want to get it to 5k, but because I had really good luck feeding blues and stuff into it, I have 4k, but all of them are full. Do not swap the traits. It's not worth it. What we used to do back in T1 is you would swap a trait, and then you would keep blessing stacking again, because when you swap a trait, it starts at 1 out of 4 again, so you can start feeding it again. Don't do that. Even if you have like less than 7k, 6k will still help you boost your traits by a lot, so you don't have to worry about it. And then remember, when T3 comes out, you will transfer this into T3, and then most likely Tier 3 will be plus 15, or it will be something else, and the level will be a little bit lower. But this is how you're gonna do it with each of your gear piece, and then this is how you're gonna basically blessing stack if you want to do the blessing stacking way. But yeah, so to sum it up really quick is, if you're gonna be blessing stacking, you don't have to do like the full gear set. I wouldn't advise you to, because most likely things, we don't know how things are gonna turn out. Do for a certain amount of pieces, maybe get like 3 of your gear pieces, 2 or 3 of your accessories. You don't have to maximum the blessing stacks. Try to get them a little bit high. Remember, if you're blessing stack an item, make it +0 so you can transfer it to +12 and try to fully trade it out. Don't worry about your heroic pieces, because they will still be better. Arc boss weapons will still be better. You don't have to worry about those, especially the new arc boss. The old ones are probably going to get replaced. And only blessing stack either by dropping the gear, or if they're selling for 10 lucent. If they're selling for more than 10 lucent, you're probably going to go in minus, because the tier 3, in my opinion, is probably going to end up being much cheaper than we actually think. And be a little bit careful, because we don't know what the tier 3 gear is going to be like. And remember, there's going to be a better tier 3 piece that's going to come out later. So even if you get a good tier 3 chest plate, in 1 month they're going to release a better tier 3 chest plate. So just be smart with it, and it can help you save a little bit of lucent, but you don't have to go as hard, guys. I'm not going to be doing it, even though before Talandra came, I had every single piece maxed out, and in my opinion, it was not worth it. So just do like like 1, 2, 3 gear pieces and 1, 2 accessories, and call it a day. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. You can also do this in Hyperboost servers to save a little bit of lucent, but it's a headache and a half, so I wouldn't advise everybody to be doing this. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have a blessing stack already. Check out this video right here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.